All right, I'm also recording this and we are live streaming officially now on the Word is Right's Facebook page. I'm trying something new. I'm on one screen and one different mic. So hopefully this works okay and my audio does not skip. All right, welcome everyone to the Word is Right's double feature open mic night featuring featured readers who are not here this evening, and I don't know if they will be here or not. So we are going to wing it and bring you a great show regardless, because we of course have the real Nick P. Nick Paleologos is in the room, and we have Christopher Moore, host of More Poetry with Christopher Moore, and the two of them are going to fill the gaping holes in what was supposed to be our double feature this evening. So I'm super excited about that, right? Because where someone may or may not take advantage of the opportunity to be part of the show, it opens doors for others. And so, yeah, we can be slightly grateful for that opening this evening. All right, we will see if our feature reader, so we were originally supposed to feature Prince A. McNally from New York City, and I'm not sure where Prince is, and we were also supposed to feature Sky's the Limit, and Sky's unfortunately is unable to be here this evening. So as it is right now, our double features are Nick P. and Christopher Moore, and that is no slouch. Like, what a great way to substitute the poets who are supposed to be here tonight, because Christopher Moore has a new book out, and both of them have shows here at the Word is Right. So let's go. Jane Spoken Word even offered to come in and kick it with us if we needed extra people. Farah is in the room, award-winning poet Sophia Falco, Generalissimo Brian Franco, Jeff Cottrell, and of course the very famous Shocky G, and her new merch is going to be launching as well. All right, so some ground rules for this evening. We have a short list. Size does not always matter for poetry. So let's take about 5 minutes each. We'll go down the open mic list and we'll bring up our first feature. Oh, look, hey, Prince McNally's coming in the room. So perhaps he will be able to read this evening.
I sent him a text that we were waiting for him at Marissa's place. So.
All right, Prince A. McNally in the room. So we'll go through the open mic list, and then we'll bring Prince up to read his set, and then we'll go to our other featured readers this evening. If we get any other people in the room between then and now, I will add them to the open mic list, and we can defer to them between Prince and Nick and Christopher. All right, so ground rules for this evening: 5 minutes for the open mic list. Everyone in the room is on the open mic list. If you do not want to read, except for Shocky, because she already told me, let me know. Otherwise, you're reading tonight. This is a live poetry open mic. You can say anything you want. You can say dig a shit and pussy and all those great fucking words. The only thing you're not allowed to do is, and I love it that Sophia is like always like, she's so surprised that I still say that. It's like the millionth time I say that, right? The other thing we don't allow is any hate speech whatsoever. If I feel you're a threat to anyone in this room, you'll be gone, baby, gone, and not allowed to fuck back in. So please keep it professional. Remember, we are artists. This is our art form. Do not drop in the DMs of any of the performers without consent. And please remember, no is a whole fucking answer. All right. So 5 minutes for the open mic, each reader, and we have 20 minutes for our feature reader, Prince A. McNally, 15 for Nick, 15 for Christopher. Just for time's sake, I'm going to go into some pieces as we get going. I have Jeff Cottrell, Generalissimo, poet Sophia Falco, and Farah on the open mic list. And then, yeah, and then we're going to rock and roll this. All right, so the first piece I have for you, I guess I'll do two. I guess, right? Let's just do two. The first, and no, I'm not doing my NFL parody piece out there. Although I dropped it on her IG show earlier today and it went down pretty well. So, oh good, Terry Rose Jerson's coming in the building. All right, so here we go. This first piece is a short poem titled That Summer. There was a tomato plant once in my garden that split in the middle of a rainstorm. The main stem snapped and I was sure it would die within a week, but it refused to. It was still green and the fruit still alive. It hardened itself on the injury, healed itself in the most mysterious way. It no longer grew up, but changed course and grew down and then out. Along the ground outside of the black fabric planter bag. The leaves had no problem growing down rather than up, because the sun still fed its need to feed me. Those small, yellow, boisterous cherry tomatoes, and my mouth never wanted for anything more that summer. I wish my heart could say the same. And that's that first piece. The second piece is a relatively new piece as well. It's titled Red Card. The body keeps score. It remembers every kiss, every slap, every apology, every cut and bruise, when we cry and laugh, when we dance and fall, skin our knees, the cold shoulders and disease. The body keeps score like a tree. It keeps careful records of the world around it. Every drought, every rainy season, every infection and infestation, the environment counting on its catalog to go back and figure out why the forest up and quit. The body keeps score, every hurtful word welded to our bones, torch in hand, sparks deliver showers of sharp fire reminders that we are permanently incomplete now. Dissected decisions that the disease should be expelled through bone loss holes, drilled to repair the ability to handle humanity. My body keeps score, keeps a Rolodex of woes on file, spins like a 40 street corner newsy, and war has just been declared. The trees in my veins strain, roulette wheel of numbing denial, spirals relief, pins in place to keep my frame from crumbling beneath the skin suit of better days. When your initials weren't carved on the kindling crisis of my bark heart, in a time when I still believed in sunshine. And no one will know except the loggers when they come to carry me home beneath a green blanket of Chopin playing chainsaws that even make my demise desirable. No one will know because my bones will be buried behind sheetrock and paint, or left in some clearance bin with a green spray paint mark to end up some side project. Even then, no one will wonder why the dark line lingers in the cut zone of my bones. No one will ask, how did it come to this? And ultimately, the score won't matter because there are no winners. When the daily reminders of your absence are in the heavy silver chain around my neck and kaleidoscope of clinking stones on my wrist, we were supposed to split. It has all been for nothing. At the end of the day, the forest has been decapitated, and you have destroyed me. You win. Poem. All right, let's go tonight. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, next up, I got Jeff Cottrell, Generalissimo, Poet Sophia Falco, Athera, Terry Rose Jortson, and Erin Carey is in the room. Oh my God, it's so exciting. All right, Jeff Cottrell, are you ready?
Okay, now I'm unmuted. Okay, so I'll give you the first part of an origin story called An Origin Story. The stage was set, said the skinny old showbiz veteran to the Lincoln Center crowd. Every eye in the audience was fixed on him. They had all paid big money to attend this one-time only, exclusive live event to hear him tell the story of his early days before the big break. In fact, everybody in the theater was hanging on his every word. Everybody, that is, except for his partner, sitting in the chair to his left. The partner squinted in confusion for a moment, then shrugged. The speaker rolled his eyes, slapped his forehead, and snapped. What? What is it now? But I just don't get it, Brick, said the partner, a goofy fat man with a high-pitched voice. A few scattered laughs throughout the audience. What, Dummerton? What is it you don't get? Well, how can a stage be a set? Said Dummerton to more laughter. I mean, you and me is on a stage right now. A stage is what you got in a theater, Brick. But a set is what we go on when we're shooting a TV show or a moving picture. A stage ain't no set, Brick. Didn't you learn that when you was starting out in the biz? Shut up, stupid, bellowed Brick to his partner, followed by a hard smack on the face. The audience went wild with laughter, and some of them even clapped. Ow, that hurts, Brick, whined Dummerton. Why is you so mean to me all the time? I was just using an expression there, you maroon. Like the stage was set for the beginning of my career, like. It's a metaphor. Like the course of true love gathers no moss and all that kind of deal. Dummerton still looked confused, but the host, James Lipton, asked Brick to carry on with his story. What happened, Brick? So like I said, Brick went on, the stage was set for the launch of my comedy career. I knew all I had to do was nail this interview with the guy at the William Morris agency, and it'd be all uphill. So I'm talking with the guy, then I do a bit of my stand-up act for him, but then he gives me this weird look and says, I'm sorry, Brick, but there's something missing. Missing, I says. What could be missing? My act has it all, pal. It's a tornado of comedy. Guys will dig it, girls will dig it, even kids will dig it. There's quality laughs for everybody. The guy looks like he's gonna answer, but then he goes and punches a button on the intercom thing on his desk. Sweetheart, he yells into the intercom, didn't you tell that stupid intern to bring in another cup of coffee? Tell him to step on it. Then he turns back to me and says, look, Brick, you're a funny guy, I'll give you that. I can see why they laugh at you in the small clubs in the village. But the big time is different, Brick, and I don't know if what you're selling is what the folks in middle America want to buy. All you do on stage is get angry and yell and snap, and that just doesn't cut it at this level of the business. You need something to balance that out. No, something's missing, Brick. So I starts pleading my case to the agent, when suddenly I hears the door to the office opening behind me. Well, it's about time, the agent yells above my head. Don't you get it, kid? When I say step on it, I mean step on it, no delays. I turns around and sees the kid holding the coffee. He's this big fat kid who looks dumber than a box of rocks in a toilet bowl. I'm sorry, Mr. Hinklemeyer, the kid says in his high voice. Don't get sore, see? It'll never happen again. You bet your ass it won't, the agent says. I swear you're the stupidest intern we've ever had. And the fat kid says, I'm sorry, again, and he steps forward, but then he trips over his own feet and falls on a doggone floor, and a cup of coffee flies in the air and smacks the agent on the head, splashing the steaming hot coffee all over his face. And the agent screams at the top of his lungs in agonizing pain, and the kid just shrugs and says, oopsie doopsie, Mac, I done it again. Oh, called Dummerton, interrupting Brick's story, and he shot his hand up in the air. Can I guess who the intern was, Brick? I bet I knows who the intern was. Some of the audience laughed again, and Brick sighed. Ah, for the sake of Pete, he groaned. Was it Moive Griffin, Brick? I bet it was Moive Griffin, said Dummerton. Or maybe it was Meryl Streep. Was it Meryl Streep, Brick? Will you shut up and let me tell the story, you Nimrod? Growled Brick, smacking Dummerton again. The crowd roared with laughter and applause. And if we do a second round, I will do the rest of the story then. So in the meantime, I'm featuring at Spoken World Online sometime in the near future. David hasn't confirmed a date with me yet, but look for that.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes. Out there, you got to come to New Mexico for the Poetry Summit in June because Jeff's coming. I'm so excited. Like, yes, let's go. It's very, very exciting. If you have not got his book, Hate Story, please do so. It's a wonderful book. And Jeff, we just love you. It's good to see you. All right, let's go. We're going to keep rocking this list. Jenner, Lisa, O'Brien, Franco, you're up next. Poet Sophia Falco, you are on deck.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my stuff together here. So let's do a brand new haiku. It's called No Cogito Ergo No Sum. I think therefore I, when I don't think, I forget how to therefore. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do this piece that I wrote in Marissa's recent workshop with who was it with, Marissa? I forget who it was with because my brain isn't all here.
Is this?
Who was your workshop with? It was a gorilla.
I forget that I can do that. That I can put myself on and it echoes. Like, watch, listen.
This was in Marissa's Thursday night Gorilla Poets workshop.
Echo.
You're echoing really hard, Marissa.
That was intentional, G. Yeah. So if it was the workshop that I hosted, it was Guerrilla Poets. The one I did about Tamar Hamlin. If it different one, was it that one?
That was it. That was it, gorilla. I mean, that was. Oh, you're not a gorilla.
Gorilla Poet. Yeah.
Yes, you're. Okay, this doesn't have a title yet. The word fragile usually refers to being breakable. It gets stenciled onto wooden crates and written or stamped onto packages along with handle with care. Egos are fragile, as is self-esteem, and so is life. People die from food poisoning and improperly cooked food, bacteria like E. coli in lettuce and eggs. Drunk and distracted drivers hit pedestrians and bicyclists. Improperly installed window AC units in large cities fall and kill people minding their own business. Deadly airborne viruses randomly attack strangers when someone coughs or sneezes as they walk by. Genetic illnesses lie in wait to manifest, but sometimes never rear their heads. Sometimes we have no knowledge of family medical history, only to be surprised. Every second of every day is laced with fragility. Life is fragile. Human bodies are fragile. Human minds are fragile. I didn't realize how fragile life was until my breath was taken from me. I survived. I breathed again, and I still choose to breathe when I feel stressed. And I did this afternoon in a workshop run by a woman named Tanika Melton. Sort of a little prose piece. And I had to choose 2 animals from a list of about 100 animals and 2 emotions or feelings. So this does not have a title yet either. There was once a jellyfish who wanted to not sting everyone. He was frustrated and longed to be friends with other fish. There once was a blobfish who longed to be friends with other fish. She was demoralized and wanted other fish to not call her ugly. The jellyfish heard about a squid doc who did surgeries on sea animals to make them normal. He saved up his shrimp shells from all the shrimp he stung to become normal. The blobfish saved up all her clam shells from all the clams she smothered so she could be pretty. They both met at the squid doctor's clinic, which required them to wait a week while going through a species-specific cleansing diet and pre-op fast. They became friends while playing gin rummy and Scrabble. They streamed Netflix shows together. They both agreed that Julia Garner is this generation's Meryl Streep. They did the New York Times crossword together at breakfast and watched Jeopardy every night after supper. They both liked Mayim Bialik over Ken Jennings as a replacement host for Alex Trebek. A male nurse who happened to be a hammerhead shark invited them to his drag show one night. His opening act was a crab's hypnotist. As it turned out, the crab was able to train the jellyfish how to turn off his stinging at will, and the drag queen shark took the blobfish backstage and taught her makeup tricks. Of course, neither the blobfish or jellyfish ended up having surgery, and they realized they were in love with each other and got married at a chapel in the clinic by the squid doctor, who was also a justice of the peace. They had 4 kids, 2 of which were jellyfish birthed by the jellyfish, since jellyfish are hermaphroditic. P.S. The crab and shark were married as well. On the entry to the chapel is an inscription: "Normal is in the mind of the beholder." Thank you.
Oh, let's go, G. I just got to give you love. We love that. Yes.
I just want to say that on the 25th of, well, I think it's the 6th of February is my next Cafe Journalism mode. Then 25th of February, I'm doing Gestalt, which is on Saturday afternoon. And then on the 25th of March, I'm going to be doing a combo of words called consequential words. I'll put that all in the chat right now. And of course, you can buy my book by contacting me or the great and mighty Mamacita boss lady Marissa Prada. She loves being called both those names.
Mamacita's okay, but I'm not anyone's boss here. I'm just their co-poet. But we love you, G. Thank you so much. Yes, if you have not had a chance to pick up his book, Everything I Think Is All in My Mind is an amazing book. I know I've published it. Yeah, please do. Please get a copy of his book. All right, next up we have poet Sophia Falco, award-winning superstar poet Sophia Falco, and her new book. It's out as well, which I can't wait to receive because then I'll get to like really plug it. And then we'll go out there. We're gonna break for Prince McNally, and we'll go back to the open mic list, leading off with Terry Rose Dirksen. We'll see if we have any other folks come in the room. If not, then we will go to Nick Paleologos and Christopher Moore, our other two co-features this evening. All right, Sophia.
Not very focused today, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Okay. But I did go to the store, so my book's on the way to you, Marissa. So as of today, so this is my book, Chronicles of Cosmic Chaos in the Fourth Dimension. Let's go. I just flipped to some random pages, and I'm gonna read 3 poems in a row, okay? And they're short and they all go together. Okay. I think I'm ready. We'll see. So this one's titled Could Have. Okay. Could have. I'm not asking for prayers, but easily I could have. But the world is churning, burning. I'm still unable to love myself as they repeat for me to do so. A broken spirit. I love poetry more than anything because my devastatingly beautiful poems are composed of carefully chosen words, combination of letters in those specific orders, punctuation here and there. My poems fly free at my will. Those killed too much to bear arms. Let's face it, prayers will not take the guns away. Yet many things are out of my hands, and still I'm not asking for prayers, but easily I could have. But the world is churning and burning. Thank you. That's poem 1. Poem 2. Gentle Geese, after Mary Oliver. Breaking the surface of my skin, like how those geese break the stillness of the water with their webbed feet, whereas it was my own sharp nail from my own finger attached to my own right hand, now pinkish lines streaked across my left forearm, the end of a shooting star. Unable to foreshadow this point in time that arrived too quickly. If I start running in my trusty blue basketball shorts, matching jacket fly, stitched in bold white letters, those lines won't just disappear. Even under the shade of the weeping willow tree, they would not notice, yet this harm would still be present. A wise person of nature, yet no longer wise, no longer living up to this name. Poem 2, and to finalize it, flying knee. Flying knee. If in the ring, would I be the ropes or be the gloves or be the fighter? I caught a glimpse of the replay regarding the historical flying knee knockout in 5 seconds while washing the dishes. Whereas this blow to my psyche, it dawned on me while using the liquid blue dish soap of the same name, but not in the past tense. I used too much. Should have had my ducks in a row, miniature soap bubbles drifting upwards, only seeing half of my reflection. Then I had a recollection of them wanting me to be down on my knees to pray, but instead I hurled those stones at the stained glass windows and heard moans of tortured souls. I'm trying to have my soul be okay with just being, and not the recipient of a KO. Okay, thank you.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I love the metaphor on that one. Do big dishes too, like straight up. That's a rough, those would be some rough dishes. Like, she washing some, she's serious about that dishwashing, yes. Oh my goodness. And the poem about the nails and the skin it really hit home for me, and it was beautiful, and thank you so much for that. Yeah. All right, next up we have Athera. We're gonna break for our feature reader. Prince A. McNally's in the room. And then we'll go back to our open mic list led by Terry Rose Jurison. And we'll keep going this evening. Are you ready, beautiful Athera?
Yes, I think I'm going after Sophia. So I'm gonna take a breath. I just love that last one. Oh my God. Okay. I can figure out what poem to read, so I'm just going to read you my new one. You guys can hear me okay? Because I don't have my headphones on. Okay. All right. So this new one, it's entitled Gigi. What's your name? She asked. Thinking that is a good question, I suggested. Then my middle tornado said, "Hi, Gigi." I guess now that's me. Unable to connect the dots, my future is showing as simply divine. I have been reassigned again in a matter of 4 agonizing years. With 4 perfect elements I know will settle right in. They are the part of the keys that will be changing everything. I was blinded by ignorance following this heartache, then given these years to grow and change, to see beyond my limited perception, allow new possibilities to become my incentive. I just need to stay focused on my own internal motives. I feel as mothers, we may lose our minds, but as grandmothers, we find a new role, a new soul. Then we begin to patch those holes. Wounds that have taken many years of pain and tears to evolve will now be filled with love and resolve. We all made arrogant choices and endured the fated consequences. Then one day, my son's life almost ended. Isn't that when the relationships are the most precious? When we're laying there helpless, so scared, we're willing to sell our soul for health and happiness. Will death's bill of sale be an acceptance? I'm grateful my son rejected it. Now I get to watch him at 29 soar as he becomes a father to his 3 girls and a baby boy. He takes great pride and joy in his new love affair. He sees how essential it is for them to share. As they quickly run by, I try to steal time. I get to feel the heat of their flesh against mine, to snuggle my nose into the cradle of their necks, just to inhale that intoxicating smell of baby magic. Our roles have changed, but the goal has stayed the same: family. I dream of mornings when I awake and you will be 8, crawling into bed with me on a cold, chilly morning. Your visits will turn into hot chocolate and whipped cream memories. I want to sing you my most cherished of favorite stories. How about the one with the lady in a blue mask? She drew your name in pink across the sky as you asked. And as you spent dreaming of basking under her orange puffy clouds, she whispers your dreams, then flies them to the 4 faces in the moon, and they all reminisce of you. I watch you smile while you're in that world. And when you awake, you will see you have never escaped my gaze. I want to take all of your mistakes and heartaches, all of your salted tears that flow out of nightmares, and I want to make them disappear. It's hard not to cave under the weight of the emotions my heart is feeling. My life has felt like a deadly balancing act. Impulsive reactions were made just to prevent racing to solutions that were never ever needed. I see the traps I have set for myself. I sometimes don't see my own worth. My compassion and sensitivity can be felt as excessive. I love hard and I lack spiritual apathy. At times I'm just too kind. And for neutrality, I'd kindly lend tranquility. By removing my blindfolds, it has helped me see. While sometimes the sky is dark and gray and our backgrounds signify despair and pain, all I had to do was take a long, clear look at my situation and then simply walk away. That is what I needed to feel happy and whole, a clearer vision of which way to go. I can see my perspective in life has changed. Those 4 tiny tornadoes now own my soul. I now reject self-inflicting pain. Time to take life into my own hands. Fears and anxieties that have blocked me from truly pursuing being happy have been lifted. See, reproductive care for me is not necessary, but for my grandchildren, it will be. They are the reasons why I will keep fighting. I now can teach them to fight, but it's not my fight they will face. I now can teach them to dream, but it's not my dream they will embrace. I can teach them to live strong and love hard, but it's not my life that they will create. I know it's theirs, and I cannot and I'll not always be there to keep them safe. We teach our children games like follow the leader, but if following the leader is leading this country in the wrong direction, I will not allow my voice to fall on deaf ears amongst the government selection. Knowing that the things we do in this world will echo in the next, I will provide you with the wind, my little tornadoes, so you may rise like the phoenixes you are meant to be, because I am your Gigi. And after all, what is a Gigi but a metaphor for a bridge or a road, a supporter or a fixer? For I am your grandmother, and I carry the power of love so strong and the strength of patience that will endure a lifetime long. Home. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Out there. Oh, what a great, it's totally true. The transition of life as we get older and our roles change, but our goals stay the same. And my little tornadoes, like I love that. And embracing the new role of Gigi. Yes, absolutely. If you're not following her, please follow her on IG, the only Athera. There are underscores in that. But I'm sure if you go and you just search the only out there, you can only find one. There's only one. So you will definitely, yeah, you'll love it. I just got done with a show up with her on IG. It was just so much fun. So please, please do that. All right, here we go. So we're gonna bring up our first featured reader this evening. Prince A. McNally is in the building. And then we'll go back to the open mic list where I've got Terry Rose and Dee Allen, if Dee Allen wants to read tonight. And then we have Nick Paleologos and Christopher Moore filling in the other feature reader slots. So it all is not lost. Like it's still fire poets here at Word is Right to fill in the spaces, right? So I'm super excited though to have Prince A. McNally here. I got to meet Prince in person. I had to hug that guy. I got to hug him in New York City at the New York City Poetry Festival, and he performed at our booth for Red or Green Books. Like, it's just phenomenal. This man is certainly one of my heartstring poets, and I'm so excited that he's here tonight. So here is his bio. Prince A. McNally is a widely published teaching poet and spoken word artist who facilitates workshops for kids in crisis through schools and outreach programs, utilizing poetry and creative writing as a means of expression and self-discovery. His poems have appeared in numerous literary publications and anthologies, such as Boog City, Spill Words, Tuck Magazine, Dissident Voice, Jerry Jazz Musician, and the Blue Mountain Review, just to name a few. In addition, Prince is the recipient of a Poets and Writers Grant and a New York Fine Arts Award. His work has been nominated for Best of the Net and the Pushcart Poetry Prize. Prince currently resides in Brooklyn, New York. You can find him on Instagram, Prince_the Poet, Twitter, Prince A. McNally, Facebook, Prince A. McNally, and we'll get to all his cash stuff for tips later. Y'all unmute your mics, please. Give a warm welcome to our featured reader to kick us off tonight, Prince A. McNally.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm so sorry I can't figure out what the heck's going on with this visual thing. But like Generalissimo said, you know, as long as we can hear you. Thank you for having me, Marissa. You know, this is one of my great pleasures of 2023. And I think I'll just start off with a piece. It's a pretty old piece, but it was a piece that's very relevant to, I think, many people. Something that I've struggled with in the past and tries to creep up on me every now and then. So I'm just going to start off with this piece. It's called Depression Like. Depression like a cold and lonely suffering because you don't want others to know the hell that you're going through. And so you keep your pain hidden way back in the dark room, shushing the silence because the silence is too loud. The silence is too loud. The silence is so loud it magnifies that ever-throbbing pain in your subconscious, throbbing with thoughts of utter helplessness, thoughts of self-doubt, and oftentimes self-hatred. Thoughts of impending doom and self-pity like, woe is me, I wonder what this world would be like if I weren't here. If I died tonight, would anyone care tomorrow? Would anyone shed a tear? I wonder who would attend my funeral? Who would read my eulogy and what would they say about me? I hope they'll speak kindly. This is depression. Depression like struggling through this wretched existence, always walking in the shadow of the light, a prince of the night, rising faithfully at sundown as the world winds down. You wear dark sunglasses so no one can see the sadness dancing in your eyes, for your world is so cold. Hope flies south for the winter. You're a lonesome dove searching for love. During the holidays, you pray for the numbness to stay a while. Until the celebration passes, you avoid the masses through solitary confinement. The big train keeps a rolling despite your absence. Runaway tears escape from a place called melancholy because as the new year rolls in, you're still so unhappy. You don't know whether to thank God or to curse him because another year has arrived, you're still alive and yet you're still hurting. And though you're truly blessed to breathe yet another breath of life, it feels more like a death sentence that seems to just run on and on and on. The curtains remain drawn because light isn't welcomed here anymore. Life isn't welcomed here. This is depression. Depression like feeling forsaken, fasting and feasting, soul on famine. Depression like each day you just want to curl up in your bed, close your eyes and just keep on sleeping. Just one more minute, just one more hour, just one more day that turns into days. You just want to sleep your life away until you reach the promised land that due to some twist of fate has always managed to elude you. Depression has enslaved you, so you just keep on sleeping, dreaming of better days to come, hoping that someday you'll awaken from this altered state, this unyielding nightmare where your quest for happiness haunts you and life continually taunts you because you're not living. Whew, okay. This next piece is called A Quiet Revolution. Even as the darkness descended upon you, a hell of swirling buzzards and hungry jackals ripping at your skin. Despite unbearable pain, you refused to be broken. You were so damn stubborn, declining death's hand, you held on instead. What a beautiful act of defiance. Your every breath, a protest. Your will to survive, a quiet revolution. This next piece is called The Aftertaste of War. And it's not inspired by any war in particular, just war in general. The aftertaste of war is so sour and surreal, an unholy alchemy of pain, murder, death, and devastation upon one's palate. You can never forget the stench of rotting flesh or the sight of stray dogs feeding upon mutilated corpses. The mourning murmurs of weeping widows, their faces buried 6 feet beneath their palms, or the haunting cries of wandering orphans singing like sirens, summoning their lost parents. Impromptu funerals unveil acres upon acres of mass graves, gardens of death planted with seeds of the deceased who bear no harvest. There's not a day we are not haunted by the ghost of the dead who refuse to remain buried. Okay, I'm going to change the pace a little bit. This was an experimental piece I wrote. It's called Inspiration's Brush. She laid there passively as inspiration's brush splattered across the barren walls of her thoughts. She lay there, moaning passively as inspiration's brush splattered across the barren walls of her thoughts with deep, bold strokes of imagination. She just laid there passively, allowing the muse to take over. Inspiration's brush splattered sporadically across the barren walls of her thoughts with deep, bold strokes of imagination. She just laid there as inspiration's brush splattered sporadically across her cranium wall with deep, bold strokes of imagination. And with each stroke, she just laid there passively as the muse rushed through her body, inspiration coming in waves, crashing against the shore of her thoughts again and again with deep, bold strokes of imagination. She just laid there smiling, brush strokes of inspiration sweeping through her body in waves and waves and waves and waves. This piece is called Portrait. I'm letting you guys know this piece is about spousal abuse. Trigger warning. As he beats her, he openly proclaims his undying love. As angry fists flail, he imagines himself an artist, painting a masterpiece, a portrait of black and blue bruises violently brushed upon the soft, blank canvas of her face. If only she could have seen beyond the blue horizon of his smile. If only she could have seen the murky gray colors of a storm brewing in his soul as he beats her. He openly proclaims his undying love. He weeps while loving her to death. Beautifully broken. Oh, ye fallible humans, all so beautifully broken, a kaleidoscope of colorful introspection. I don't know why I read this. It just kind of popped up, but it is what it is. So I know every time New Year runs in, people, what's the first thing we do? We make resolutions, right? So this piece I wrote a few years ago, and it's called No Resolution. I'm tired of breaking them. I'll take my happy New Year shaken, not stirred, and hold the resolution. I've never been one for keeping them anyway. Instead, I'll strive to be ever present in my being, consistent and persistent in my purpose. For New Year's resolutions are merely the offspring of over-enthusiastic drunk people, a temporal high that morphs into the sky of empty promises, often broken shortly after the ball has dropped and confetti has fallen. This piece is called Kissing Eternity. I think I wrote this maybe 5 years ago. Is there any greater force in all the universe than that of love? For love is the divine hand of God touching all existence with such divine grace, and thus the sheer thought of losing you, my love, completely overwhelms me and compels me to shamelessly weep a river of tears flowing down the narrow curvature of your spine, inscribing Braille haiku for the blind, for love is surely blind. And this blind love has me tapping into my muse in search of words, words to comfort you, words to inspire you, words filling you with joy, laughter, and light, illuminating the dark crimson cloud looming over your precious heart for far too long. Rest your weary head upon my shoulders, for I shall be your heart whisperer, whispering sweet melodies upon your ears, chasing away the demons of your turbulent past, leaving the fabric of your heart feeling fresh and anew. So breathe, breathe easy, my love. Cast thy swollen sorrow a forgotten burden, for I shall be with you until your soul rises and the sun sets, until the last breath of life emerges from your lips, kissing eternity. And what of this? And what of this existence, of this humanity, of this universe, and what of God, whose breath sings in endless chords of waves, for therein lies the undercurrent of a reverberating consciousness, its echoes humming ever so sweetly in the air of exuberance, and we are but the sum of its being. Okay. America's Memoir. It's a fairly new piece I'm working on. The morning air reeked of something carnal, something strange was burning beneath a sulking southern sun. Our lungs struggled to embrace the haunting residue of another midnight lynching, another American tragedy. Swaying in the shadows of old glory, Some of us take a knee while others pray to God. America comes to her senses as the sky grows heavy with the weight of our bodies dangling from their nooses. America's memoir. I think I read the wrong version. What's my time like, Mama?
You got easily 5 to 8 more minutes.
Okay, I can work with that. Okay, this piece is called Shadow Boxing with Her Karma. I don't know, it was inspired by my sister Ruby, who passed some 22 years ago. To exercise her demons, she worked out 5 times a week, attempting to shed the unwanted debt she had acquired in her past life. A burden she had accumulated during her many bouts with self-doubt, stemming from a deep-seated state of self-hate, bearing the wrath from the past that constantly haunted her. In her previous life, she was a French mute prostitute who spoke sign language and French kisses. In this life, she was but a woman scorned, emotionally torn between remaining chaste and spreading her legs for tomorrow's pseudo promises that always seemed to elude her. Life had certainly taken her to task, knocking her on her ass time and time and time again, and thus time was of the essence for her future, which would soon become her past, which is why she was so determined to win. Each morning, she would wake up at 6 a.m. to face her demons in the mirror, shadow boxing with her karma, kicking its ass. What to read? Okay. So this poem is called I Thought I Saw You Today. And this poem was inspired by an experience I had. I don't know how long after my mom had passed, but I was on my way to work. I was actually in the elevator. So this poem is just a recollection of that situation. Mama, I thought I saw you today. I thought I saw you in the eyes of a stranger. She was a small Latina woman, the same height, the same petite build, the same caramel complexion as you. At first, I saw you in her eyes. And then I saw you in her smile as she said goodbye while exiting the elevator. This piece is called Lavender Rain. It's a tribute to the ancestors. Their blood a holy body of muddy water and clay, a baptismal sacrifice upon the crossroads to freedom. Glory, hallelujah, the spirit flows heavily like a river coursing through our veins, for these are sacred waters, untraveled, untouched, untainted by the oars of colonial slave ships. So let me wade in my freedom, basking in the aura of this beautiful blackness beneath the crisp coolness of the evening sky. Let me cleanse my soul in the purple moon horizon. Then let me dance in the lavender rain of the deities. And okay, so I'm gonna make this my last piece. It's called Maybe. Something you don't know about me. I've been told that I sometimes rant Shakespearean gibberish in my sleep. I'm not sure if it's true or why that is. Who knows? Maybe I'm a time traveler from the 16th century, or perhaps I'm just a dreamer, dreaming the future into my existence. Some call me a prophet, but I'm just a poet who happens to see things a little deeper than most. Life is karmatic mathematics. Everything you do, say, everything you think, say, or do adds up to you now. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, so perhaps you should do your own math. Maybe I'm just some raving lunatic shouting at the world to wake up. Thank you for listening.
Oh my God, you guys, unmute your mics, please. Give it up for our first featured reader tonight, Prince A. McNally.
Nicely done,
That's
Prince.
amazing.
That was awesome. It's
Thank you,
good to hear
guys.
it again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my
That
God,
is nice.
right? He's
Nice.
magic. Like, he's just magic. And the poem you read about, it's all of them. And I love that they all have something to do with his personal life. And I love it. Like, he puts it all out there in his work. There is no one like Prince A. McNally. He is one of a generation.
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop. No, like seriously, there's no one like you. I don't think there'll ever be anyone like you ever again. And I love it. I love that I got to meet this poet. I got to hug this poet. I'm so excited to have him be part of our community. Yeah, so thank you so much, Prince. If you guys are not following him, please do so. If we were in a cafe or a brewery or at a poetry venue, we would be passing around the hat and we would ask everyone to drop, some money into the hat to tip the featured readers. So please just do something, don't do nothing. I always tell poets, buy him a gallon of gas, buy him a cup of coffee. His Cash App is PICITI. His PayPal is PMACK210@gmail.com, as well as his Zelle. Yes, I just put everything in the chat. He's got Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. If you do not have those, then reach out to us at Word is Right, and we'll figure out how to get you get a tip for him. You're welcome to send us snail mail, checks, or cash. There's zero reason why we shouldn't be tipping our featured readers this evening. That was an incredible read, an incredible feature. So thank you so much. If you're not following Prince A. McNally, please do so. Facebook, Instagram, all over. We are looking at hopefully coming to New York again for the New York City Poetry Festival to be in July, which is like hella hot. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I would love to come back to the Big Apple and do poetry again there. Do you have anything coming up, Prince, that you want to make announcements for? All that good stuff?
Actually, I actually have a reading tonight.
You have another one?
I have a reading in the city tonight, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. But you guys can't come to that one unless you're in New York. It's in Chelsea. Now I have something coming up in February. Yeah, something in February at Brownstone Poets
Awesome.
on the 25th. That's that's a Saturday at 2 p.m. That's going to be pretty cool. That's a Zoom. What else? What else do we have? Hold on. Oh yeah, it's so crazy. I have a double feature that same day on the 25th at a place called Nubu in the East Village. You know, so that's going to be really cool because I'm going to be doing it with performing with music and the whole, with a band, and it's, so it's going to, I'm pretty
Those are
excited.
always exciting. Make sure you tell William Washington that you're going to be performing in the East Village. I'm sure he'll go and he'll gather some people for that. So yeah.
Yeah. William's my boy, but I don't know. He don't be making it downtown
No.
too much. Nah, I mean, yeah, I'm coming, man. I'm coming. I'm gonna be there for you, brother.
Yeah, well, he's kind of busy, but
You gotta love him though. That's my boy. I love him.
well, anything we could do to help promote that. There are a lot of New York poets hosts for Word is Right, so I'm sure they'd love to help promote and come by if they're there.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal because I'm like a guest. I'm a guest of two friends from Venezuela. Oh, their music is just amazing. And they asked me if they wanted to do something, they wanted to work with me, so we got together and they played their stuff and I just kind of just chimed in and I'm singing with them, and then at a certain point I just go into a poem, and we performed it once actually in Brooklyn, and it was incredible because we only had one night to practice, but it was really incredible the way the audience responded to it, so check these guys out. What's the name? Oh my God, Victor Indo and Eduardo. Yeah, Victor Indo. I'll put the if I can find the freaking information, I'll put it up in the chat.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, best of luck to the feature. And if you've never seen poetry and music together, you got to go check it out. It is a really incredible thing when it's done live. So awesome. Thank you so much, Prince A. McNally, for coming through and leading us off. All right, so we'll go back to the open mic list. We have Terry Rose Jertson and Marianne Peterson, and then we're going to bring Nick up. And then we're going to bring Christopher Moore up. They each have a feature set as well this evening. All right, Terry Rose, are you ready?
Yeah. I wrote a poem, a happy birthday poem to one of our other poets, Chanson. Even though he's not here, I'm going to read it because I just wrote it tonight. And his birthday was a while ago, but it's a lot of Capricorn birthdays are happening right now. And he's not a Capricorn, but birthday's on my mind. So I wrote this. Happy birthday poem to you. So you say you want to come to Jersey to visit. Uh-oh, where did it go? Oh, okay, sorry, I lost it for a second. So you say you want to come to Jersey to visit a friend too. Well, I'm waiting for you to look at the shore and eat some more subs at the White House. We can look at the bright lights and fireworks at night, dance at the club at the Chop. The fun never stops at the all too encompassing casinos. We can walk on the boards and avoid getting pooped on by the hungry seagulls. We can look at the ocean and hopefully not see any of our mammal friends where they should not be. Oh yes, it's probably our fault. There are more of those beautiful creatures letting us know something is very wrong here. God will probably destroy it all for the error of our ways, or we will do it ourselves. So let's put some more money in the machines and play in the waves before we all go to hell in a handbasket. All right.
Oh my God, that's so great. Even Sharky's like, I want to hang out with Terry Rose Tristan.
I'll write a poem for you when it's your birthday. Just let me know. All right, so this is from the book, Chameleon Chronicles, people. Love is a mystery I don't understand. It's on page 39. Once sizzling to a 5-year self-imposed abstinence from another dysfunctional pairing, and when the fast was broken, thirst quenched over and over again until left exhausted of any future desire, came 10 years of obligatory wifely duties, leaving me exhausted of any future desire, to sizzle, left to fizzle. That was 10 years of my life that I will never get back, which left me exhausted over the futility of sizzling sex and marriages that die a slow and pointless death. Unions that bring relief when finally over, fractured relationships that still hold the mystery of how they were sewn together with a dull needle. When we last spoke, we both agreed that we failed to answer the impossible question or silence the infinite yearning of brokenheartedness caused by misunderstanding this mysterious thing called love. Thank you.
Yes, let's go. If you guys have not had a chance to get her book, Chameleon Chronicles, please do so. It is filled with her photography, her artwork, incredible whiteout poetry, blackout poetry. It is really fun. It's very inventive. It is a very, like the whole tone of the book is great as well. So if you're looking, it really is something probably a lot of people could enjoy. If you're not sure what to get someone and you want a unique gift, this book would definitely fit the bill for that. All right, thank you so much, Terry Rose. All right, next up we got Marianne Peterson. We call her Miss Straight No Chaser, Miss Matter of Fact. She's the best opening lines of any poet I know. Shocky G says she will read one. We don't try, we just do. So she'll read one real quick, and then we'll bring up Nick for our second featured set, and then we'll bring up Christopher to round us out this evening.
Okay, this one's called My Anxiety. I wrote today. My anxiety is getting the best of me, worrying about my youngest son. I'm anxious for him to come home as soon as possible. I'm anxious to know what medicines they are putting him on. I'm anxious to see my youngest son again. I'm anxious for him to go back to school. I'm anxious for him to get under control even enough once again. That's the first one. The second one I wrote yesterday. It's called I Am Waiting. I'm waiting as patient as I can for my son to be able to come home. I'm waiting for my son to get the right treatment for him. I'm waiting for my son to be able to go back to school. I'm waiting for my son to be able to tell me he loves me again. I'm waiting for us to be able to hug again. I'm waiting for us to be together again at home.
Oh my gosh, Marianne. Yes, and we send so many healing prayers for your son. He's in the best place possible and receiving good care. So, all we can do is just kind of wait from right now.
Yep.
If you want, you're welcome to read another one.
Okay. Let's see. This is called Upside Down. I wrote on the 17th of this month. The whole world has been turned upside down without my youngest son around. I miss him so much. He misses us. He may be where he has to be right now, but it's still tough. It makes my life rough. It makes my son's life rough too. I want my son back home safe and sound. No more pussyfooting around. He needs to go back to school as soon as he can. I want him to fall far behind. I want my son back home once again.
No more pussyfooting around. Oh my God, like, hello, that's a t-shirt idea. No more pussyfooting around. That's yeah, very true. Thank you so much, Miss Marianne.
You're welcome.
Following Marianne Peterson, she does have numerous books out. She is on Instagram, Facebook. Please find her, follow her, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, Shocky G, you would like to read one?
Yeah, I'll try to read one. I'll try. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. Sorry. All right. It's called Sunrise. Most days, I like to hold your smile like a secret. But when you told me you love him, it echoed. I know 3 can keep a secret, but only if one is dead. No wonder I died inside. Held a funeral for my happy. Keep checking my pockets and bed sheets for any piece of you left behind. Did you know something as small as a bobby pin can be a tsunami? Emotions crashing against the shores of my eyelids. Now I am a shipwreck drifting through an ocean of lonely, holding on to planks of memory to stay afloat. I'm trying to convince myself that surviving is worth it, or even that drowning is such a terrible way to go. But I've been holding back breaths for as long as I can remember, swallowing salt water as if it will fill me with hope. But I see the sun rise, and I know if it can get up every morning and shine, maybe I can too.
Damn, Shocky. Let's go.
And I will be.
Damn shine. I'm just saying, you shine.
I didn't hear you, but I will be featuring at Dumping Grounds Saturday, February 11th. If anyone wants to join that. So thanks.
Okay, next up we have, hang on one sec, because I think my family's home and they're knocking on the gate. Hang on. Okay, good. They made it in. All right. So I don't see Casey. She didn't make it in yet. So we're gonna go to Nick Paleologos. I don't have a bio for you because, of course, it's an impromptu feature substitution this evening. Huh? No, not on that one. I'm not. But good looking out, right? My family's looking out for me. If an 8-year-old can't tell you what's up, what's up? Anyway, so Nick Paleologos is the host with the most on the first and third Wednesday night of the month. He does Right to the Mic, which is an incredible workshop followed by an open mic here at The Word is Right. He also is part of the next 10 poets from Red or Green Books, and his book is titled Adversus Reaction. Again, it is an incredible book. It's formatted to the page just beautifully, and it is very authentic and real, and we just love him so much for being part of Red or Green Books. So Nick, go ahead and come on up. Feel free to plug yourself, plug whatever you got going on. And then if no one else joins the room, then we will go to Christopher Moore. So you got 15 minutes more or less, no worries.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna get myself unmuted real quickly. So yeah, thank you for having me and everything. I do have another feature coming up with Spoken World Online. I will drop that info into the chat for everyone and everything. If you like my stuff, obviously the real Nick P on IG, Facebook Nick Pay Logos. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome right over here. We're gonna do this set over here. I'm gonna try to take as little time. Well, hopefully not go above 15 minutes and everything. But I got a plan for y'all and everything. Don't worry. I got a plan for y'all and everything. We're going to go ahead and have some fun with this tonight. So, this first one that I have here tonight is a new one. It's called The Sides of the Die. 6 people separated by poles of magnetic personalities in own ways. These 6 become one. One is a disguiser, aura, purple, mass, sadness, in the form of entertainment, a different version each time. One is a performer, or is green, speaking parables in the form of poems. One is a warrior, aura, orange, tough, gritty, and mostly to the side. He's usually training on his own. One is a joker, aura, red, chaos, madness, manifest of insanity. Chaos is his lover. One is a hippie, yellow, aura, peace-loving, smelly, and looks like Bob Ross and Steve Irwin had a baby. The last one is the timid, scared of the others, would rather be playing video games than doing something. The 6 sides make up the die that is rolled on its own, no sleight of hand. Keep the roll going. Roll for initiative on separate days. Who wants to come out today? The 7th, the holder. The amalgamation of the 6 down to the corners of the die. I am all that, and I accept it. All right. So I'll be doing a couple other ones and everything for you, and I'll do some from the book and everything. This next one's also another new one too as well over here. I like doing this one a lot. This one's called Existential Baptism. I was baptized in an airy fire to draw out my soul to earthly soil quick. Use your intelligence. Your mind is tired. Your drive is hungry. You are hungry, greedy for the next piece of knowledge. Droplets of memories dance with your pages. Rip off the skin. Unleash layers of the eraser. Mind lock your psyche. Are you mad at how I turned out? How I still exist? I was never baptized in your waters. I have channeled energy beyond your wildest dreams like the Avatar did. I have breathed the ashes of the phoenix and spit out doves. I eat miracles for breakfast. Save those facts for your memories. Watch what you regurgitate back to me. For you shall not incinerate me. After all, I was baptized in fire, and I walked out a man on a mission. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna switch it up and everything from the feature I did on Tuesday at Cobalt Poets. I'm gonna do one that I personally like doing. This is an acronym poem right here. Of course, it's about football. CTE. CTE. Crash test everyone. Craniums turn eggshells. Clueless thoughts everywhere. Crush the enemy. Chronologically, tradition ends. Cuts to edges. Clauses to eradicate. Creatures to entropy. Crying terrors echoed. Claustrophobic trembling. Encased cremated traumatic events. Chemically trained experts crashing the entire Colosseum, thrashing endlessly. Collision course timeline experienced. Chiefs turn exploited. Cardinals turned embalmed. Chargers turned erratic. Colts turned endangered. Cowboys turned to end. Champions to exterminated. Conglomerates turned evil. Empires come to exist. Come to elimination. Creation that ends. Champions come to the end. Come to ease. Come to ecstasy. Come to enlightenment. CTE.
Damn it, Nick, let's go.
Well, yeah, we're going to keep on going on and everything. I got my timer and everything. Looks like I got about 10 to go and everything. So we're still rocking and everything like that. You know, we still got some things. I'm going to go ahead and go to the book, my book, Ad versus Reaction, for this one. I'm going to do one that I like doing and everything. This is probably one of my favorites from the book. Memory loss. I got drunk off a dictionary. Mix and mince rhymes with dark arts. Magic from alchemic stones, a philosophical past. I got high off a thesaurus that rolls up. Replications, inflections, illustrious illusions, smoke some spellbinding puff, puff, pass through circles of conjured conjunctions, injecting injuries, snorting sounds to drop another piece of meat of paper, leaving behind the blood dyed ink. Creation comes with cost, sanity and sleep. I got drunk off a dictionary. I got high off a thesaurus. I just wish I could remember all the words. Have water with y'all. It helps you out a lot. Especially it helps you out with your features and everything. You're speaking so much and everything. All right. The next one I'm going to do is going to be this one over here. And I really like this one too as well. This is an oldie of mine. Ravenous Rambunctious Reformation. Dark feathers cascade from cinder and cinnamon upon the land. Mistaken for a crow, the caw crawled up a thick neck, strike of swift maturation, the raven merged with me. Flight patterns quick, agile in V formation, black is amongst my favorite colors. A raven is symbolized as an ill omen. Perception of me is lost, sick, or just doing this poetry thing. Judges stood atop the pedestals, gavels of molted feathers slammed against the sound block of broken eggshells, sentenced to severed life. What they did not realize is this raven being wise, a fortune teller, a fortune and a future, singed by trauma, left out in the open to die. The corpse was thrown into a vat of flames. Skin melted, muscles eroded, bones intact. The chants of curses of demise was spoken verses. What they failed to realize, this raven became a ravenous phoenix taking flight. The feathers burnt it all down, scorched the very tongues that cursed existence. The wounds healed when that phoenix flew away. I was the raven, evolved to the phoenix, becoming the living embodiment of the spirit animal. I was reborn. All right. So there we go, right there. Got about 7 or so right there. So that's enough for me to get maybe 2, maybe 3 more out of me and everything. This next one right over here, I like doing a lot and everything, and I enjoy this piece so much and everything. This one's called "The Mic Knows You So Well." You cannot disguise your voice when it comes to a microphone. No matter how much you speak to it, a mic will know your intentions. The depths of your soul show up in inflections. The mic knows you. Shelter your soul all you want, bury it in a well and watch it swell back. Sometimes the microphone likes to play with you, make you raise riots within, make you soften your spite, slash brick walls harder than swords could. The microphone is for the authentic. It'll sense your frightened, fraudulent, and forgotten depths, make you cry oceans, laugh out serotonin levels. The microphone isn't for the faint of heart. It is given to everyone. Some spew garbage, some say. Some say nothing, some say genius, some say. But some say artists rock with it the best. Yeah, we're winding down over here and everything too as well and everything for me. I only got maybe 2 more left in me, and then I have to turn over to my fellow Wednesday host right over there, Christopher Moore. It's been an awesome time to feature right over here and to hear Prince and hear all y'all again and everything. I really have to say I've enjoyed each and every one of you. I will drop my info in the chat for everyone and everything. And it's crazy because actually I think this is like the first time that I'm like featuring with people that I've actually also met in person too. So I find that pretty awesome right over there. All right, so back to me and everything too as well. We're gonna go to 2 more pieces and everything. I will go with these 2 right here. This next one is called the aftertaste. Is called Submerged. I submerged into water for the first time in 3 years, went under to drown out sound. What I found was serenity in H2O. I felt weightless as I had my eyes closed, surrounded by chlorine. When underwater exhaled trouble, I will not and take it back. I swim into the illusion of change, to change muscles, change a nucleus of tendons to strength. Water shook off of my body. I did not feel judged. I didn't feel the stares of the eyes like daggers aimed with infrared dots. I no longer felt ashamed at all. I felt a peace I haven't felt in a while. Peace to you, my body. You have been flayed and fried, walked away with venom in hand and penance in the other. The venom is not worth being grasped. It will erode you away to the core. Reconcile with your soul, for you, body, is a unity with the soul. Until we depart, let's submerge again in between the hydrogen and oxygen to emerge a whole new person with clarity above the chlorine. All right, y'all. This is my last one for y'all tonight, and then I look forward to hearing from Christopher and everything, and from others who have entered the room if they want to hop on. This last one is a closer of mine. I always have like 3 or 4 closer pieces, and I end up with this one right here because this is just kind of like my own thoughts into this piece. This last one I have for y'all is called Remember Me When I Transcend. When I die, I want you to know it is not your fault. It would be my own hands that dig my grave and bury me 7 feet under. I won't be taking my riches with me. My soul won't stay stagnant. My poetry will overflow out of these pages. At least I hope. I am the holder of my own keys to my own gas-fueled fuckery. With my pedal to the floor of my vehicle, I speed race to Fast and Furious that one day will kill me. I want a true principle that school never taught me. I need a belief that doesn't kill others. I would love to hold someone close to me. I have accepted that I will eventually go out as either a martyr or a devil. It's going to be how I'm perceived when the sun touches that earth on that fateful day. I hope I am recognized as a poet. Thank you, Marissa, for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Y'all have been awesome tonight. I really have to say I enjoy you all and everything. Thank you. Thank you again for coming by. Appreciate you all.
Oh my God, you guys unmute your mics. Give it up for our very own Nick Paleologo.
Encore. Encore.
Berserk.
Whoa. Hold on. Now listen here. I work in music, so if I hear an encore, that means I gotta pull another poem out right there. So
Yay.
Marissa, that's the rule of music right there. I'm applying that right now.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. I'll pull out one last one for y'all and everything.
Or you can sing.
Unfortunately, I don't have a singing voice as much as I love it. I've worked in music. I learned I ain't got a singing voice. I'm a drummer at heart. But I'll tell you what. I'll give you one last poem. I'll go to the book and I'll do a poem that's probably the most signature poem of mine from that book. The Gengar poem. Gengar Genshin Comparison. Out of the original 151, if I were a Pokemon, I would be Gengar. Gengar's only 4'9". I'm a little taller than Gengar. And Gengar's Pokedex entry states it gets 10 degrees colder when someone enters the territory. I have that same effect. It is a ghost and poison type. Ghosts like merge with shadows. Poison as an addiction to me. Poison as if corruptive, corrosive. Gengar's ability is cursed body. Cursed and hexed is this body. Trying to rip off shadowy skin to have a better connection with the soul. In order to get a Gengar, You got a Ghastly first. At level 25, Ghastly evolves into Haunter. Haunter needs to be traded to evolve into Gengar. I let go of what I was. I was cursed into Nightshade, felt dark pulses on my forearm, shuddered from mean looks. I hypnotize them back. When they cheer for me, it's payback for those looks. When poetry is fed to me, I'm eating the dreams, filling my soul to the brim, so when I get back to life, I can deal with the hits. Each sucker punch I took dropped my HP to 0 faint. At the sight of defeat, I licked my wounds, drowning in a sludge wave despite the help I'm asking for. I get shadow punch, only a claw back from those very shadows. I have been so used to singing perish songs about me, I disassociated to how to heal. I will bond this destiny. Take the very shadows that control me, ball it up, project this apparition forward so I can deliver the final blows in my battle so that I can be amongst the elite for many years to come. Legacy is coming. I can feel it emanating. This ghost is alive again.
Let's go! Yeah. And your encore. Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you. Thank you.
Thank you all for listening and hearing me say poetry and shit and everything. It was awesome to be here again. Great to hear all y'all and everything. I look forward to the rest of the mic and everything. I will drop my info in the chat. And for those that came a little late and everything, my next feature is going to be at Spoken World Online. I will get that link for you and drop it in the chat and everything. I will also drop my socials too, as well as like Cash App handles, all that other good stuff, and where to get my book too as well and everything. Y'all have been fucking awesome.
Rob will feature me sometime.
The funny thing is, David like asked me. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm down. Just ask David. Just ask David.
I gotta tease him a little bit. All right, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Nick, for the featured set. If you're not following Nick P, please do so. Come to his show here at The Word Is Right, the first and third Wednesday nights, right to the mic. It's a great show. All right, so we have 2 newcomers, and then we're going to go to our final feature tonight, Christopher Moore. So we have Casey and then Stephen Blaine. Are you ready, beautiful?
You're talking to me, right? Not Steven?
Yes. Well, Steven's beautiful also, but you'll have to wait.
Gotcha. Yeah. Wow. I feel like I need to like write a funny, like a more fun poem after going after Nick's encore. So I'll just say something briefly funny that happened to me, and then I'll say my poem if that's cool with you, Marissa. So I think it was last weekend was my birthday, but my dad had asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said a cat. And the next morning, I walk around the neighborhood and I pet the neighborhood cat, and it's the first time that I've been bitten and scratched and bled from being bitten and scratched. And then I thought, oh, be careful of what you wish for. And now I don't know if I want a cat anymore, but have you? Yeah. It's just so
very dangerous. I'm just saying.
Say what?
Pussy can be very dangerous. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that could be another poem like
Yes,
mine.
there you go. All right.
Waiting for your poem, but anyways, I'll go with mine. Okay. When you don't feel loved, step into nature. It's everywhere. Just surrender and open to it. Whilst in the natural world, make sure to feel the sun on your face, hear the wind, feel the trees, hear the sweet melodies of birds, the symphony of ocean waves. Nature, the universe loves you. It gives and gives without asking you for anything in return. It sustains your heart, soul, and body. It shines on us, rains on us, feeds us, balances us, cares for us. Feeds freely our bellies, hydrates us, oxygenates us. Life is an expression of love. Humans often forget, allowing deviant capitalism, colonization to disfigure, dehumanize, pervert, and ruin this love. It's buried, but it's still there. Search for it and you will see. Protect it with all your heart and might. This is the only treasure of worth. The rest is farce, borrowed on borrowed time. Drop those lies the modern world feeds us and let go of the brainwashed cravings they say we need. And be free. The ultimate freedom, to be free and united with this beautiful love.
Let's go. I love it. Oh, I miss your voice too. So I miss you reading poetry. It's nice to hear you back again. I hope you do. Please come back and keep coming to Word is Right events. We'd love to hear more from you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So we got Stephen Blaine, and then we will have our very own Christopher Moore wrap us up for tonight. Hello, Stephen. I'm so glad you came. I feel so lucky every time you're here.
I don't know how to respond to that. That's so kind. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here always, and always great people. Nick, that was great. Great set. Thank you. He's gone.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I appreciate that very much and everything. I was just trying to find the unmute button and everything.
I know it's hard to find, and then you realize you could always hit the space bar, and then, it's amazing.
Is that like a real thing? Does that work? Let me try.
Yeah, it does. It's a fact.
Well, aren't you the one? Was it you? Somebody showed me that the underneath the little green arrow on the top
that
left.
was me. That was.
I mean, that's like I've been showing everybody that, and everybody's like flipped out.
It's wonderful, right? It's such a great hack. The top left, the little green arrow and the shield thing. It tells you exactly your Zoom link, you guys. If we didn't know.
Yeah. So, shit! I am still spotlighted. Oh. Did you read Nick's? Oh shit! I am still. Well, okay. Is it? Am I going now, Marissa?
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. I'm working on this song. I did it last night. I got to do it again. I have to see if it's working. It's called, I guess, Ready to Give Up the Ghost, or Give Up the Ghost. It's not meant to be happy. It's an angsty one. He loved her. She loved till the day it crashed in. Bills came hard, money gone. He's alone, life goes on. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Everyone knows he's just a dead man walking. Everybody crows when they get to talking about what killed him the most. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Even I suppose he's a dead man walking. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking, ready to give up the ghost. Sweetheart years, plans and schemes, loving things, building dreams, dreams to end. Ask the fates, where's the road to grace? Well, everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Everyone knows he's just a dead man walking. Everybody crows when they get to talking about what killed him the most. Everybody knows he's a dead man walking. Even I suppose he's a dead man walking. Everyone knows he's just a dead man walking, ready to give up the ghost. Oh, ready to give up the ghost. Thank you.
Oh my God, Stephen, yes. Oh,
Incredible.
it's such a blessing whenever you're here. Like it really is. I know sometimes it's hard to sink in, or like, you're so humble about it, but really is. Music was one of those things I missed during COVID. I missed it so much. And hearing performers on Zoom, it like fills my heart in a way that's just so profound. And I got to meet Stephen. I got to hug him and like hang out with him, and really truly, the music is just such a special thing. And
Well,
Stephen does a wonderful Jewish service online every Friday night, and he plays and he sings and they chant, and it's like it's so special. It's so incredible. So yeah, when I say it's a blessing that you're here, for me, I'm blessed. The music is wonderful. So thank you. And
Well,
everyone,
it's an honor to be able to share my work with people, and this is you put together a very kind, open-hearted group, and it's a tribute to you.
well, I'm not that kind at times. But I really think it's a reflection of poets, and it's all of us. It's all of us, and certainly you're so much a part of our community, I feel. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, music is just, it's one of those things, y'all. It fills your soul. Thanks for continuing to come, Stephen. If you are on Spotify, go download his stuff, please. Stephen Blaine on Spotify.
Please, it would be really nice.
Please go download his music. Like, I love listening to it. Just do it.
Isn't it amazing? I actually have a lot of shit there, don't I? It's amazing.
You have a lot of great shit there.
Some of it is actually okay, so it's
It's really good, and we'll totally be your guinea pigs. We love being your guinea pigs.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And those who don't get it, who don't show up to the live in-person stuff, who don't get it, I feel bad for them. They just don't get it. Their lives weren't changed because it wasn't the right time for them. So I feel good that we get it. So you get to have an effect on us, and I appreciate you for that. All right, so we're going to close out with our final featured reader tonight, Mr. Christopher Moore. He is the host with the most of More Poetry, featuring Christopher Moore. He also does a monthly other type of open mic. I'll let him plug all of that since I don't have your guys' bios tonight. But More Poetry with Christopher Moore is the second and fourth Wednesday. This is like the Wednesday night host takeover show, which is great. And he has this wonderful new book out. So I'm going to let him plug all of his stuff and then let him do his feature.
Thank you, Marissa. That is a great introduction, better than what I ever could say. And I don't know, you made me, you saved me for last, and, there were all these other great poets, you made me follow Nick, you made me follow Jersey Jesus, how can I follow that?
You got this, poet. You hear me? You got this.
In all honesty, I always put it in the order of who arrives first. So don't feel bad, because that's typically just how I do the list. I'm sorry, Christopher.
No, that's fine. I was just kidding.
it's always the first and the last is what people remember, right? So what a great way to close the show out is you and your new book.
Yeah, I was just kidding though, Marissa. So no worries. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna read a few poems from this book. It's available on Amazon. I'll put the link in. Actually, I'll do that now because sometimes Zoom chat is kind of weird for me. There. So I'll start off with let's see if I can remember page numbers. Okay, this one I wrote rather recently for the book. A friend of mine had a dog who died, and I wrote it for her, and I put it in the book after I needed more poems in the book. This is called Athena's Tears. Athena cried when her owl died. She loved the owl for a long time, and it seemed to always make her happy. The sky turned dark and gloomy as her tears rained down from the sky. The owl meant everything to her, even more than any mortal humans she ran into. No offerings could ever replace the pet, for it was her most valued treasure ever. If most of you haven't realized by now, by the title of that poem and by the title of the book, I do a lot of mythology themed in this book, along with personal poems. This next one is the title poem, Prometheus' Heart. I displeased a goddess whenever I gazed upon what I should never have. Cruel was the game she was tried. Cruel was the game she tried playing. Every time I fought my lovely muse, I found. A thumping power soon took over me, my life organ turning to tiny pieces of granite with my blood stopping dead in its tracks. Soon it will start to pump again with mirth. Until the next time, for it's chained to its endless cycle. Let's see, 45. Okay, and the next one I'm going to do is kind of a 180 poem from the mythology themes. This one's called Heart Puritans. Love is a vice that must be extinguished. The walls of this new Babylon must fall so the heart can finally be purified at long last. Pulling up a new idol of stone each time the heart blood pumps with excitement and mirth only helps placate a dead, non-existent mythology. If this organ is to survive the next decade, handing out pieces of it should no longer be considered. Thank you. Let's see, 76. Sometimes when I made the list earlier, I have poems in various pages, so I have to remember which page is which. Let's see. This one is called Persephone's July, out of the Greek, the daughter of Demeter. We only ate one pomegranate. So it was only 1 month out of the year in which she would sometimes visit my world. 1 month to see her smile and laugh. 1 month where time seemed endless to me. Sometimes I think the pomegranates wore off in the recent Julys that have occurred. What if the fruit did wear off and I am now alone in my own underworld? Let's see, 22. This one is called A Note to the Heart Colonizers. This organ is not yours to command. It does not genuflect with a snap of a finger or does any parlor tricks. Its materials and feelings can't be collected to be stored for one of your sad, rainy days with no regards to how it might be feeling. You can send armada after armada you may like, but you will not populate my mind with your thoughts to be used as propaganda against my logical mind. So be sure to turn your drama ship around, because this heart will never be carved up in order to serve your petty emotional needs. Thank you. And I can tell you really like that poem, Marissa. Okay, so the next one would be, let's see, page. This next one is called Helen 2. You built a pyramid of fake tears that I foolishly sailed my 1,000 ships on. Did I escape the land of slate pyramids only to waste my energy on this false odyssey? If you wanted my heart sauteed in the nectar of gods, all you had to do was send a bird to rip it out. The new empire looks similar to the old one. Once again, I ignored the oracle, thinking for once, your kind finally grew a blood-pumping heart. Thank you. This next one, am I still doing good on time, Marissa?
Oh yeah, you're only like 7 minutes in. You're so fine.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Okay, this next one is called I always forget how to pronounce this. Faux deities, like F-A-U-X. I think the X is silent. Okay. They look down as a clouds this makeshift pantheon they formed, giving offerings and sacrifices of all kinds, only to not care about the needs of their worshippers. It is not that they are nasty or cruel. They just only see humans useful if it benefits them. If not, they are just another admirer amongst their cult of panderers who gaze upon them. Let's see. This next one, a little bit of context. If any of you are familiar with Greek philosophers, Socrates was tried by the city of Athens, and after he was found guilty, he was forced to drink hemlock, which is a poisonous drink. This next poem is Pennsylvania Hemlock. I saw things different from the others, refused to see the shadows on the cave, in search of what reality could really be. I claimed their Babylon has fallen and was crowned a heretic for it. I defied their clay-molded gods and upset their self-proclaimed mortal goddesses. I was given a mixed drink that poisoned my soul, and you question why my heart is pure granite. This next one is, let's see if I can get to the page. This next one is called Queen of the East. Rebellion shall be crushed if you think anyone's smile is prettier than mine. Raise your banners to my cause, even if I'm not always around. Do things in my name and my name alone. When you pledge your loyalty to me, do not have the other half of you in open rebellion, because I've seen your rebels have no champion left. Bow to me and you will be rewarded for it. That is, if I even remember you are my subject. Let's see. I still have 5.5 minutes, so let me see if I can find. Okay. This one's called Prometheus Heart Unbound. I guess there's a place where birds are not sent to devour my heart by vengeful mortal goddesses for kicks. This is not that reality, however. Running from place to place, with the foul beast never too far behind, holding hands to my chest to secure a treasure. I am unbound, yet am still its prisoner. It is gaining ground upon my heart, as the gods are spectators in the clouds above us. Let's see. Okay, and this one is towards the end of the book. It's called Next Time. I thought it would be rather fitting for the ending poem of the whole book. A word from me, Aphrodite. You seem to have won this round, Prometheus, but my bird will return to get your heart again. Somehow, some way, it will be mine. You foolish Titan who discovered feelings and offered your heart to mortal women. Who is to say the next time you won't be the same? You are just a puppet of the gods, remember. Enjoy your Titan heart while you still got it. It might not be with you forever. Okay, let's see if I can find. Let's see. This one is called Gaelic Helen. Gaelic after Irish Gaelic. Hidden in the lands of New Troy, occasionally coming down in some seasons to get praises from her followers. Clytemnestra often fumed through her ears as she was given laurel wreaths when men would bow at this Gaelic Helen's feet. Plotting with Aphrodite for her heart, this soon angered this Helen of New Troy. Once usurped, though, she went to her throne again, waiting on her patronage. I think I will do this one next. This is called This Is Not Sparta. And if you're wondering, yes, it's named after This Is Sparta, the movie, the Spartans. You fool, you sacked New Troy for no reason. Your Helen was never kidnapped by her Paris. That was a lie you told yourself and others to make the pain from your fall not as bad. Aphrodite's pact with Paris was sound, and Helen always loved him anyway. This is not Sparta, and you are no Agamemnon. I think I'm done now.
This is not Sparta. Oh my God, you guys, unmute your mics. Give it up for our final featured reader this evening, Mr. Christopher Moore.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Christopher. I was gonna say, this is not Sparta.
You said it better than I could.
All those years of imitating Gerard Butler has paid off.
Very true.
That would be a great Saturday Night Live skit.
For real.
300, but not 300. Maybe
It
like
would be called
do a
600.
003. Do a spin off of 007, but make it like 003, like inverted.
Or I was gonna say, do it 700 instead. Flip the numbers.
300 minus 300 or something,
But Christopher, I gotta say, your set was great, by the way. I really enjoyed it, man. Good stuff.
Algebraic
Yeah.
expressions. That could be the title for this SNL show. Algebraic expressions.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I put the link to the book in the chat, and even if you don't see the link, if you search on Amazon Prometheus Heart, it will be there.
Yes, and if you send me your Goodreads link to your book, I will add you to the spreadsheet, and then I'll send you the spreadsheet. It's a Google Sheets. We're just compiling a list. I've got my RGB poets, but also AJ Houston and some other IG people are compiling all their authors. So we're trying to get this massive spreadsheet together with the direct links so people can go leave 5-star reviews for everyone. Really trying to take over the list on Goodreads, get poetry books the recognition that they deserve. So yeah, we would love to do that, and then everyone will have access to your Goodreads link as well.
Yeah, that would be great because I really need good reviews. The one thing that I've noticed, and I tell people, I'm sure some of you have come up upon this too, but did you know, from what I found out, that most people will make an Amazon review if they hate the book, but very
Right.
few will make a review if they love it.
It's so true. I mean, you go and look at even superstars on YouTube and look how many views they have versus reactions. And the top book on Goodreads for 2022 had only like 256 reviews or 252 reviews, not reviews, but votes for to be on the top of Goodreads. So certainly we can come up with 200 or 300 people in a spreadsheet to come together and review books and start getting poetry books up on the Goodreads list. If for people who are not familiar with Goodreads, it's really like this huge library of online books, and it is not what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a resource, right? So like Amazon only lists books that are sold on Amazon. It's very elite in its availability and the books that they put on Amazon, and they're only going to put reviews for people who buy books on Amazon. So it's very, marketed to that platform. But Goodreads is anyone, anywhere you have a book for sale, you can list it on Goodreads with any link. It's not at all favoring one platform or another. So it's very objective in that way, which I really love. So even if you just sell your own book on your own website, you can list your book on Goodreads, or if it's already there, you can become a part of Goodreads and then have the book put under you. So it's a great resource. If you're not on Goodreads, get on Goodreads. And if you are on Goodreads, let me know and I'll add you to the spreadsheet and get you that Google Docs spreadsheet. All right. So thanks everyone so much for coming out to the double feature tonight, featuring Prince A. McNally, Nicholas Paleologos, and our very own, again, Christopher Moore, More Poetry. Very excited to have the three of you gentlemen here tonight reading your poetry. Thank you so much. If you're not following The Word Is Right, please do so. If you'd like to get on the email list, send us a message and I will get you on the email list as well. Download Stephen Blaine's Spotify. That will help him. And buy the books from your fellow poets, right? That's something we can do. Go just buy their book. In fact, buy two. Buy one to give away. So thank you all so very much. Oh, we got to do our toast. Are we ready? You guys have a glass? We'll do our quick goodbye toast. All right. All right, here we go. Here's to health and your company, and one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry, all of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry, bad thoughts to refrain, for we may or may not ever all be here again. Thank you so much for being here for The Word Is Right. I'm your host, Marissa Prada. I'll see you next Saturday night. Don't forget Monday, Moist Mondays, coming up. Erotic open mic, Monday night. Love you all. Peace and blessings. Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.